A big benefit or a big waste? Our Call 6 investigators uncover problems at a brand new parking garage you help pay for. Problems that have the owners taking action. What's more, some say few people are even parking there. Call 6 investigator Kara Kinney now with why some are calling it a waste of money.
The Broad Ripple parking garage cost $15 million to build. The city shelled out $6.35 million of that. That money came from selling the city's parking meters to a company called ACS. It's the public's money that went into this garage, and we found it's often completely empty. It opened May 2nd to a lot of fanfare. A big selling point, getting cars off neighborhood streets.
Where they're going down the street to a restaurant, they're not parking 3 blocks deep into the neighborhood.
Fast forward 5 months, and we found people still parking in neighborhoods on Friday and Saturday nights instead of the publicly funded garage. Nick Browning lives on Guilford. Have you noticed a reduction in the number of cars parking on your street?
Not at all. I've seen just as many as ever.
We wanted to find out how many people are parking in this publicly subsidized space. So the Call 6 investigators requested parking figures from the city and the owner of the garage, but no one would provide those figures. So we counted cars at all hours of the day and night. Saturday, September 28th. The garage has 328 paid spaces. In our 24 test, the garage was 6% full on average. If you count just the peak times around 11 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, the garage was still 20% full on average.
And there's an old expression, we tried to tell you so.
Clark Kalla was one of the vocal opponents to the garage and says it was never needed in the first place.
I think the garage is floundering. It seems to be a failure.
Kalla points to a 2007 study that found the site was less than ideal for parking because pedestrians have to cross busy College Avenue to get into Broad Ripple. The Call 6 investigators found other possible reasons why people are not parking here. Meters are 50 cents cheaper the first hour, and the retail space in the garage is half empty 5 months after opening. Remember that ribbon cutting?
And I know something will be in here, Ursula, eventually, right?
That space the mayor joked about with Keystone's CEO is still waiting for a tenant. When we checked in September, the garage still had no signs outside telling people how much it costs to park there. When Call 6 started asking questions, parking managers moved these signs to the entrances. So we asked city code enforcement to check them out. This is not up to code right now.
Well, they do not have the proper sign that we want to see outside, correct?
The letters need to be at least 6 inches, so code enforcement gave the parking manager 14 days to fix the signs. We also found the elevator not working on several occasions. It's not working. And water pooling in some areas days after rain passed. Mayor Ballard's office declined our request for a sit-down interview, so we caught up with him at a public event. Were you aware of any of those problems?
Those things, no, but I mean, those things happen. Those things happen in all new buildings, right? So you just fix them and move on.
Critics are arguing that not a lot of people are parking there. There was a large chunk of public money that went into that garage. What is your response to that?
Well, everything takes a little time to work out. I certainly remember a few months after the Super Bowl, people were saying, well, Georgia Street, well, what's that? Now, lots of people are using Georgia Street. It just takes time to work out.
We took our questions to Mike Paterino of Keystone, the developer and owner of the garage. Taxpayer money went into this garage. Why won't you share those parking figures with us?
That type of information is just, we feel like it's confidential. We feel like it's trade type information.
Paterino says the elevator, concrete, and signs have since been fixed. Can you understand why some people maybe weren't parking there?
Oh, absolutely. And having the rate signage at the street, and we'll have a couple rate signs on College and one on Westfield. So I'm hoping that actually increases the number of people parking in the garage.
Even though the city forked over nearly $6.4 million, it gets none of the parking revenue. Just another reason why many people like Kashmir Johnston are still questioning whether this garage was a good idea.
I think it's a waste of money and a waste of space.
The parking garage was supposed to go hand in hand with the residential parking permit program, but that has yet to come to fruition. The Broad Ripple Village Association sent out a survey this fall and is still compiling those results. In Broad Ripple, Kara Kinney, RTV6.
Another one of the selling points of the parking garage was the IMPD substation. It still has yet to open, but IMPD says they're moving furniture into the space. As for those empty retail spaces, Keystone says Orange Leaf, Massage Envy, and a sushi restaurant will move into the garage soon.
A Call 6 investigation into the Broad Ripple parking garage is prompting reaction from city leaders.
We uncovered the garage you help pay for is hardly getting used. And tonight, some argue the garage's owners could have done more to get drivers in. Call 6 investigator Kara Kinney joins us now with today's developments. Kara?
That's right, Erica. The city of Indianapolis paid $6.4 million from a parking meter deal to help build the Broad Ripple parking garage. Our investigation found the garage is an average of 6% full. Well, today, the Broad Ripple Village Association told us they made this list of suggestions to the garage's owners back in September, and we found most of these suggestions still have not been implemented.
The Broad Ripple Village Association made a list of suggestions to the garage's owners and management back in September, like charging a $5 flat weekend rate and flagging people in like they do downtown.
Others included just wayfinding signage. If you were to drive down some of the key corridors to get into Broad Ripple, Keystone Avenue, Broad Ripple Avenue, College Avenue, there's no wayfinding signage that says there's public parking this way.
The association also suggested giving businesses free parking passes and posting the prices outside, something garage management did after the Call 6 investigators started asking questions and after code enforcement found the garage in violation of city code. The IMPD substation was also a big selling point of the garage. Police are moving furniture in, but it's still yet to officially open.
It's a surprise.
Terry Sanderson is a concerned citizen.
It seemed to me that a better location could have been along the Monon Trail. Police could ride their bicycles up and down the trail, be right in the heart of Broad Ripple.
City County Councilor Zach Adamson says the $6.4 million from the parking meter deal spent on the Broad Ripple garage should have been spent on crumbling sidewalks.
This is right next to a parking meter, so they're collecting money for infrastructure right next to infrastructure need. So it's kind of ironic, I think.
But Councilor Will Gooden stands behind the garage.
It's much needed.
Even though the city gets none of the parking revenue, Wooden points out it will get property taxes.
I figure it's about $300,000 annually, and that's actually probably conservative. That actually goes right back in to the property tax revenue in this district and allows for redevelopment.
And we reached out to Keystone, the owner of the garage, to find out if they plan to implement any of these suggestions, and we haven't heard back yet. Now, the garage is supposed to go hand in hand with the residential parking permit program, and the Broad Ripple Village Association is meeting to discuss the results of that survey on November 15th. So far, reaction is mixed from the hundreds of residents surveyed. Kara Kinney, RTV6.
Make things happen, Kara. Thank you.